Two countries, separated by a border, united by history, but drastically different in nearly every way. Today, we're breaking down USA versus Canada, from their independence battles to 2025, including their wealth, corruption, crime rates, and secrets most people don't even know about. Stay till the end because you'll be absolutely shocked by what we discovered. Let's rewind back to 1776. Picture this: the American colonies said enough to Britain. On July 4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed. 13 colonies declared themselves free. What followed? A brutal 8-year conflict. Around 25,000 Americans died fighting for freedom. George Washington led the Continental Army, leading them to victory. By 1783, they won. The Treaty of Paris made it official. America was independent. But here's the thing, and this is important. America's first government under the Articles of Confederation was a total disaster. Complete chaos. So in 1787, they had to create something new, the Constitution. September 17, 1787, the Constitution was signed. By May 29, 1790, all 13 states had ratified it. Boom! The United States of America was officially born with a working government. Population? A mere 4 million people. Territory? Just the original 13 states, plus some western lands. Now, Canada? Canada took a completely different path. Canada never fought a revolution. Never. Crazy, right? Here's what happened. In 1867, 91 years after America, 4 British colonies, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, united to form the Dominion of Canada. Not through war, but through peaceful negotiation with Britain. July 1st, 1867, Canadian Confederation happened. But here's the kicker. Canada was still not fully independent. They were a dominion, basically Britain's helpful younger sibling. More provinces joined, but slowly. It wasn't until 1931 that the Statute of Westminster finally gave Canada complete autonomy. So while America fought for freedom in 1776, Canada slowly negotiated it from 1867 to 1947. 2 completely different timelines. Now let's talk about development. In the 1800s and 1900s, both countries went absolutely wild with expansion. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase doubled America's size. In 1869, the first transcontinental railroad was completed, and the population exploded from 4 million in 1790 to over 100 million by 1920. Canada also built its own railroad in 1885, a huge deal that connected the entire country. But their population grew much slower. Here's the thing, America was growing 10 times faster than Canada. Why? One word, immigration. America received over 30 million immigrants between 1850 and 1920. Canada? About 2 to 3 million. America was the land of opportunity. Canada was more selective. Both countries fought in World War I and World War II, but an interesting difference. The USA didn't enter World War I until 1917, late to the party. Canada entered on day one with Britain. After World War II, the USA emerged as a superpower alongside the USSR. America and Canada became best friends through NATO. But here's the kicker. By 1950, the USA had a $300 billion economy. Canada had $18 billion. The USA was 16 times bigger. And that gap, it continues today. Now let's talk about wealth. This is where things get really interesting. 2024 numbers. Pay attention. USA GDP, $24.8 trillion. Canada GDP, $2.2 trillion. The US economy is about 11 times bigger than Canada's. But here's the shocking part. GDP per capita. In the USA, it's $66,300 per person. But wait, higher wages don't always mean a better life. Let's compare costs. Housing. The US average home price is $420,000. Here's something most people don't know. The USA has more ultra-rich people. but also more poverty. The top 1% in the US controls 33% of all wealth. The bottom 50% controls only 2.5%. In Canada, the top 1% controls 25% of wealth, and the bottom 50% has 3%. It's also unequal, but less extreme. What does this mean? In America, you have more opportunity to get super wealthy, but less of a safety net if you fail. In Canada, you have less chance to become a billionaire, but better social safety nets if you struggle. Now, let's talk about corruption. Transparency International gives Canada a score of 75 out of 100, ranking it 15th least corrupt. The USA gets a 65, ranked 28th. Both are relatively clean, but Canada is significantly cleaner. Why? Issues in the USA include political campaign donations, a massive lobbying industry, and corporate influence. Canada generally has stronger oversight and a parliamentary system with more checks and balances. The difference? Canada's government is perceived as 10 points more trustworthy. That's significant. This is where things get really interesting. Most people think Canada is safer. Let's verify. The US has nearly 3 times more homicides per 100,000 people. Why? Gun control is the #1 factor. The US has more guns than people, while Canada has much stricter regulations. The result? Over 45,000 gun deaths a year in the USA compared to 600 to 700 in Canada. For other violent crimes like assaults and robberies, the USA also has significantly higher rates. Verdict: Canada is significantly safer from violent crime, but for property crime, it's surprisingly similar, with some data suggesting Canada might even be slightly higher. Another important metric: how many people are in prison? The US has 4.5 times more people in prison per capita than Canada. Why? The US has harsher sentencing laws, a war on drugs, and private prisons with a profit motive. Canada focuses more on rehabilitation, while the US focuses on punishment. Police interactions also show a stark difference. Per capita, US police kill about 300% more people than Canadian police. The training is also different. 6 to 12 months in the US versus 2+ years in Canada. Healthcare is probably the biggest difference. Canada has universal healthcare. No one goes bankrupt from medical bills. Life expectancy is higher, but there are long wait times. The USA has fast access to specialists and the latest technology. It's a medical innovation leader. But over 27 million people are uninsured, and medical debt is the #1 cause of bankruptcy. A Canadian family might pay $20,000 in taxes for healthcare. A US family might pay $8,000 in income tax, but another $12,000 in healthcare expenses, plus copays and deductibles. Canada wins on affordability and universality. The US wins on speed and innovation. Education? Canada crushes the USA on standardized metrics. On the International PISA test, Canadian students rank 5th, while US students rank 19th. Why? Canada has standardized provincial curriculums, higher teacher standards, and less inequality between schools. The US has massive variation between states. Canada is ranked 4th in the world for education overall, with the highest percentage of adults with tertiary education. The US is 7th. And the cost? Public university in Canada is around $5,000 per year. Here's something the USA doesn't advertise: work-life balance. Canada legally mandates a minimum of 10 vacation days, with most people getting 15 to 20. The USA? 0 federally mandated vacation days. None. Many Americans don't even use the vacation time they have. The overall quality of life index for 2025 actually shows the USA scoring higher. Why? Because the US scores higher on purchasing power and economic opportunity, but Canada scores higher on safety, climate, and work-life balance. The real story: the USA has more wealth, but less time to enjoy it. Canada has less wealth, but more time to live. Okay, fast forward to December 2025. What's going on now? The USA is dealing with massive political division, gun violence, a broken healthcare system, and student loan debt. Canada is facing a housing crisis, an overloaded healthcare system, and lower economic growth. One huge difference in 2025 is immigration policy. The U.S. has taken a more restrictive approach, but Canada, which was very welcoming, has dramatically cut its immigration targets due to the housing crisis and infrastructure pressure. The irony? For the first time in decades, the USA might actually admit more immigrants proportionally. So after 249 years of history, here's the actual verdict. The USA is better for earning more money, career opportunities, and personal freedom. Canada is better for healthcare affordability, safety, education quality, and work-life balance. Corruption? Canada wins. Crime? Canada wins. Wealth? The USA wins. Healthcare? Canada wins. Education? Canada wins. Opportunity? The USA wins. Quality of life? Canada wins. The honest truth, USA equals more opportunity, more risk. Canada equals safer, more stable. Which is better depends on your priorities. And that is the complete history and comparison of USA versus Canada in 2025. Two countries with different origins, different values, but both world leaders in their own ways. Which country would you choose, and why? Drop it in the comments below. If you learned something new today, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dive comparisons like this. See you in the next video. Peace.